After receiving utter defeat in World War I and having their entire army restricted to only 100,000, haven't you ever wondered, how then did Hitler and Nazi Germany catapult their plans with such an inferior army and equipment? Hi, welcome to our channel. This is Eventful Insights. And today in this video, we'll discover how Nazi Germany began to reclaim their victory from their defeat in the First World War. So, let's get a deeper look at the Lightning War. Why was this such a remarkable war for Germany, and who was the great mind behind it? Before we begin, do you remember what treaty was ratified to end World War I, where Germany was held accountable to? Tell us in the comments below. So let's start. Before we dive into the details of the Lightning War, let's first have a quick look at the moments leading up to this war. When Germany sought a ceasefire from US President Woodrow Wilson in October 1918, it expressed agreement with the principles outlined in Wilson's 14 points for a fair peace. However, the Allies demanded that Germany compensate for all damages caused by its aggression on land, sea, and air. This disagreement led to the signing of the Treaty of Versailles, a peace agreement concluding World War I on June 28, 1919, in the Hall of Mirrors at the Palace of Versailles. The treaty, which came into force on January 10, 1920, was drafted without input from defeated nations and saw limited involvement from some Allied powers. German delegates had little negotiating power and were shocked by the severity of the terms, particularly objecting to the war guilt clause and reparations demands. In short, the Treaty of Versailles blamed Germany for World War I and demanded reparations amounting to $33 billion in 1921. Despite economic concerns, the Allies insisted on these payments, with punitive measures threatened if Germany fell behind. So then Adolf Hitler ascended to power through the Nazi Party, which he established after returning as a wounded veteran from World War I's devastating trench warfare. Alongside other patriotic Germans, he was deeply angered and humiliated by the severe conditions imposed by the Treaty of Versailles. Hitler then expressed his desire to rearm Germany, supporting younger commanders such as Heinz Guderian, who emphasized the significance of incorporating tanks and aircraft into a mobile warfare strategy. Now, Heinz Guderian is a very significant person in the success of the Lightning War. In essence, Blitzkrieg, which translates to Lightning War in German, was Germany's approach to swiftly winning the initial phase of World War II in Europe. The strategy aimed to achieve rapid victories through short, intense campaigns, avoiding prolonged conflict. So how did Blitzkrieg come to be? At the outset of the war, Hitler did not initially have a fully developed strategic Blitzkrieg concept, and the German army still relied on semi-modern equipment, lacking in motor vehicles and tanks, and heavily relying on horse transport. Additionally, the doctrine of armored warfare was gradually gaining acceptance among German commanders, but many remained cautious and conservative in their approach. Hermann Göring, a leader of the Nazi Party, along with all the other generals, were against the idea of going into war with France. The German military leadership did not want to have what would be the Lightning War, because they believed that they did not have the military means to win. Hitler's conservative generals then proposed a plan of invading Poland, Belgium, and northern France from the north, which follows the game plan from World War I. It was a strategy that favored the strengths of the Allies, obviously bound to result in failure. But one ambitious general was able to convince Hitler and enter a dangerous gamble by driving quickly into the French lines. Erich von Manstein, a Prussian aristocrat, was first to suggest that they should attack much faster than France expected. Manstein detested the Nazi regime, but embraced Hitler's efforts to rebuild Germany's military might. He deeply admired von Moltke and patterned his strategy after him. Similar to Guderian, he believed the German army's prowess lay in its mastery of Blitzkrieg warfare. Before we continue, let's have a quick break, shall we? What are you thinking about the Blitzkrieg warfare so far? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you like to watch more videos about interesting stories about history, unsolved crimes, and significant events in our time, check out our channel. Now let's delve into the story of Blitzkrieg. Nazi Germany's operation began on April 9, 1940, targeting Denmark and Norway. Denmark surrendered immediately, while Norway resisted for 2 months before surrendering on June 9, 1940. France and Britain supported Norway, but had to withdraw when they faced their own attacks. When Germany unleashed their powerful new force, the Luftwaffe, its Stuka dive bombers, caused major destruction on the Allied forces. So Manstein then again endorses his suggested plan of swift attack, and Hitler agrees to propose this plan. On May 10, 1940, Germany launched a devastating attack on Belgium and Holland. Hitler's objective was to secure bases that would facilitate a potential invasion of Great Britain. Initially, the Allies were well prepared for the German attack, swiftly deploying their best forces into Belgium to counter it. However, reconnaissance planes later reported a massive military traffic jam along the road to the Ardennes, causing confusion. The French dismissed this information, considering it unreliable, which turned out to be a critical mistake. Consequently, the Germans capitalized on this oversight, advancing through the Ardennes forest and crossing the River Meuse on the French border, while the Allies were diverted northward. The German swift attack caught the French by surprise and led to devastation as they charged towards the French border town of Sedan. With 60,000 soldiers, 22,000 vehicles, and 850 tanks, the Germans prepared to cross the River Meuse at 3 points. This strategy is a textbook example of Bewegungskrieg, a maneuver warfare tactic for which the Germans were already known for. And this is where Heinz Guderian comes in. As a general, he devised a plan that combined new technology with traditional German military tactics. His strategy focused on overwhelming the enemy with superior force and encircling them before they could even react. At this point, you're probably wondering, how is it possible for the Germans to endure such lengthy travel and attack almost without stopping? In anticipation of the Blitzkrieg invasion of France, 35 million doses of a drug were ordered for the 3 million German troops. This drug is called pervitin, a drug that enhanced their performance during the Blitzkrieg, enabling them to cover an astonishing 22 miles per day in tanks, even under enemy fire. Additionally, they cut telephone wires, disrupting communication from French headquarters to the front lines. Guderian had promised to reach the Meuse in 4 days, but he accomplished it in just 3. The attack on Sedan commenced on May 12, 1940, starting with a powerful air raid by the Luftwaffe. While the raid caused minimal damage to the bunkers across the Meuse, it succeeded in unsettling the defenders. On that same day, Sedan fell to the Germans without resistance. Over the following days, German forces defeated French defenses surrounding Sedan on the west bank of the Meuse River, largely due to the effectiveness of the Luftwaffe. German bombing raids and low morale among French defenders led to a breakdown in their psychological resilience, preventing them from mounting a cohesive defense. The capture of the Meuse bridges at Sedan allowed German reinforcements and armor to swiftly cross the river. On May 14th, Allied air forces, including the Royal Air Force and the French Air Force, attempted to destroy the bridges to halt German reinforcements from reaching the West Bank. However, the Luftwaffe successfully prevented them from doing so. In fierce aerial battles, the Allies suffered heavy losses, severely depleting their bomber strength for the remainder of the campaign. On May 24, 1940, General Heinz Guderian identified a decision that he believed had the most disastrous influence on the whole future course of the war. This decision was Hitler's notorious halt order. which ordered German armoured units to stop on the brink of seizing the port of Dunkirk, allowing the defeated British Expeditionary Force to evacuate from France. The halt order left Guderian speechless and has sparked debate ever since. However, it was primarily due to Hermann Göring, who insisted to Hitler that the Luftwaffe be given primary responsibility for destroying the Allied forces around Dunkirk. Göring argued that Nazi Germany should be credited for the fall of France, particularly emphasizing the Luftwaffe's role in the campaign. Hitler agreed to this plan in order for him to establish authority, as Guderian was against his halt order. But Göring's plan eventually failed. On June 14th, German troops entered Paris, as French forces had withdrawn from the city the day before. Paris was declared an open city, meaning it would not be defended in order to prevent its destruction. Following these developments, France requested a ceasefire on June 17th. The armistice document was signed on June 22nd in the same railcar where German representatives had signed the armistice at the end of World War I. The car had been relocated to the same location in the Compiègne forest. With this, Hitler declares that they had reclaimed victory after their shameful defeat in World War I. And so that's it. What are your final thoughts about the Lightning War? We'd love to know your opinions in the comments below. If you enjoyed watching this video, please give it a like, click subscribe, and ring the notification bell. Thanks for watching.